Great. Our next section, we're going to learn a bit more about Himalayan salt. Today we have Ann Brown with us from Saltability and Himalayan Source. Thank you, Ann, for joining us.
My pleasure.
Would you mind, for those that don't know you, which I'm sure many do, just giving us a little bit of an intro, please?
Sure. I started in the spa industry after college in the 1990s. I started at the largest resort spa in the United States just by falling into it. Aaron, in the United States, there's not a lot of hospitality management degree programs, well, especially then, that had a focus on spa management. And I worked in Palm Beach Gardens. I'm back here in Boca Raton now, so life has kind of come full circle. I started helping spa directors understand, it was my initial understanding of just how things worked in a spa, and working at one of the largest ones really helped me figure out what to do right and what to do wrong, kind of like parenting. And I ended up meeting a mentor who was an English beauty therapist. Her name is Ann Brown. I still owe her a great deal of credit for my own health and taking ownership of it. And then she really introduced me to the understanding of spa, or Sanitas per Agua, health via water, and the whole history behind it. She had a training institute at PGA National where I worked, so I ended up becoming a licensed reflexologist. I went to massage school, I went to aesthetic school, I went to nail technician school, and I ended up finishing with cosmetology school. And I'm still keep my active licenses. I'm a Dr. Votter, manual lymphatic drainage practitioner, and a lot of other things. And I didn't do any of them for money. I just always usually open resort spas for a living. And then I became a world spa judge about 10 years ago. And at first I fell into that too, but it's the only one that's not accredited via backing money or anything, where you apply and then 30 or 40 world spa judges kind of vet you out. And it's been really, sometimes they say when you're ready, the teacher will appear. And for me, even doing the sustainable spa of the year this last year, or the worldwide destination spa of the year, you learn so much from what other people are doing right. So it's been just a God-given gift to be a world spa judge this long, because I've learned so much about the industry. And fast forward, after designing a bunch of spas and kind of getting maybe a little tired of the personnel issues, I went into the Himalayan salt industry in 2014. And a lot of times they say entrepreneurs start a business to fix a problem. And I really didn't like those turkey roasters, although I like turkey and I like Thanksgiving. Those roasters gave off a lot of electricity. They all use about 5 gallons of water. A lot of the times the water has quartz or bleach and a lot of dead skin in it from those black basalt stones. And every time I'd open a spa, I'd say, I'm not going to use those, but there was no alternative. And either the owner's rep or the GM or someone would get involved and say, look, that's a big revenue stream. We're not going to not do that. So in 2014, my ex-husband went to Harvard, and I met 2 men from Pakistan there. And one of them decided that his brother-in-law might be able to sell me some Himalayan salt, because all Himalayan salt is mined in Pakistan. And I got in the business, and I went to the International Spa Association trade show, October of 2015. I took a couple of therapists with me, and I showcased my new company, which was Saltability. And it became a big hit, and I knew the right people. I knew the players on the bus, and I knew who to ask. And my first big client was all the Nordstroms in North America, and Miraval, and some other really big contenders, because I had worked with them for years. And then 2 years later, I was starting to get all these calls about salt walls, and I didn't know a thing about salt walls. And my brother's an aerospace engineer, and I reached out to an engineer friend of mine Stuart Griffith, and I had funded kind of the initial, I knew the name of the company, I knew the website, I'm kind of a branding girl. And I had helped other brands bring their products to market in the spa industry. And so he said, yeah, I'll go into business with you. So in 2017, I started Himalayan Source, which is a sister company, and we do kind of salt walls like the one behind me and halotherapy rooms with halo generators and all the things you know well. So that's kind of my 3 claims to fame: Saltability, Himalayan Source, and being a world spa judge that helps keep me really educated and learning so much. Even though I'm judging, I'm learning at the same time.
Brilliant. So we're going to have a quick look at some of your products by playing a little video now. Let me see if I can bring that up. And here we are.
Saltability is a new company. It's based on Himalayan salts. What really captivated me is for years we've been working with the salt stones and doing stone massage. And I always felt
We may need a little volume on that.
bacteria in the water, those roasters took a lot of electricity. There was a lot of electromagnetic field in the treatment rooms, and I thought, maybe I can simplify this, and maybe I can make this really good for not only the client, but the therapist too. Started working on a warmer, and that warmer that holds about anywhere from 12 to 20 massage stones that are all Himalayan salt. And by holding the Himalayan salt, you get it through the therapist's hands transdermally, and so does the client. These warmers give off almost no electromagnetic field, and they take no water. By and far, I love that we're using a disinfectant. It's 100% natural. There's no toxins in it whatsoever. There's no chemicals. It is an EPA registered hospital grade disinfectant, and you just have to spray the stones and wipe them dry so they don't degrade. A lot of people say, oh, I'd love to use Himalayan salt, but it's going to reduce down to nothing. These massage stones really don't. They hold up. We're finding out as clients that are receiving the treatment really feel energized, but energized in a balancing way. If you get it in the morning, you feel energized during the day. If you get it at night, really, it helps you sleep better. We have 2 routines. One is deep tissue and one is restore. Both routines are really big on meridian balancing and energy balancing. You know why I love these stones is they really benefit the client, the therapist, and it goes beyond a treatment. Transdermally, you're intaking all these minerals, and we're very minerally deficient. Our soils aren't what they should be, our diets aren't what they should be, but by and large, when someone's had a friend that's gotten dehydrated and they go to the hospital and they put an IV bag of electrolytes in them, that's what this salt is. Now, some people might say, gosh, I'm not supposed to have table salt. Well, no one should have table salt. Because this is Himalayan salt, it's not as dense with sodium. So you're getting all these minerals together, and you're not getting that punch of sodium that's in table salt that does raise your blood pressure. You know, we've created a full line, and I just didn't want to leave anything out. I didn't want to have a spa director or spa owner say, gosh, they don't supply this. So we do. We supply the disinfectant. We supply the stones. We have 15 or 20 items that you can retail for home care. We also even make essential oils. We've created a hand and foot dome, and it's on a really nice rosewood pedestal base. And we use it in relaxation areas for clients just to feel the warmth of the salt. It's been heated and lit, and they love it because they're getting all those minerals. We utilize it in manicures where we allow the client's hands just to be on the warm dome so that it really is a nice feeling. And it really, you can see them becoming grounded as the manicure takes place. You know why I chose this on my 20th anniversary of being in the spa industry? It's finally when I thought, this is the business I want to be in. It makes sense to me. It's going to benefit not only the client, the guest, but the therapist. And I think it's a unique treatment. Although Himalayan salts have been around for millions of years, United States and some of the spa industry, we're still trying to grasp on to how to use some of those historical landmarks and benefits of the spa industry. And I love the multiple benefits. I think so many of us are trying to multitask and do more with less. And I provided a way where people can get 3 or 4 benefits out of one massage. So I'm hoping that spa directors will certainly love the line, would want to do one of the 2 protocols, if not both, or they would just incorporate the warmer in a treatment room instead of a lit candle. But having these warmers in the room are just going to infuse the area with negative ions and provide the guest and therapist some great mineral benefit.
Right, brilliant. That was a nice snapshot of your products there. I guess I have a few questions really. So with the stones or the massage stones, are you using oils with those when you're massaging?
I can't hear you very well.
Sorry. So with the massage stones, are you using oils with those?
Yes, I didn't want to make it very specific that you have to use my oils. I think running a lot of spas over the years, it's made me understand that sometimes spas have a relationship with a certain vendor. So any oil will really work. They don't reduce down. You just don't want to wet them with water. But typically we use either a seaweed oil that I adore or, fractionated coconut oil, but any oil can be used, or even a massage cream, so that there's a nice slip or glide to the stone over the body.
Brilliant. And you mentioned you do several protocols. Are these techniques that other people can learn? Do you have training or hold training for those?
We do. We offer complimentary videos and manuals and protocols. In the United States, we do a continuing education unit where we offer 6, so there's a charge for that. So licensed massage therapists in the US could become certified in it with 6 hours of continuing education that they would need to renew their license. But it's not necessary, and we give the education away for free. My background is education, and I think the more we can empower massage therapists in the United States to take on more ownership education, the more the population wants more massage, and it breeds win-win.
Brilliant. And that you mentioned about the minerals in Himalayan salts. There's over 80 different minerals, isn't there? So that really is getting the benefits to the skin.
Yeah, unlike traditional hot stone massage, those black stones really have no benefit besides holding heat. So the salt neutralizes bacteria, so it can't hold bacteria. So we do use even a hospital grade disinfectant that has no chemicals in it. It's made from the herb thyme. So I love that there's no chemicals used on the skin, and we're finding more and more people have sensitivity to chemicals, or they are autoimmune deficient, and those people can be very sensitive to breathing chemicals or having them on their skin. So I like the fact that the Himalayan salt is mined, it's hand carved into a massage stone. The therapists really like it too. They find that there's real intention with the treatment, that it's a little bit more of a live product, so it's interacting with the guest's body better, and they're able to kind of respond to the way the guests absorb the heat of the stone.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And you also mentioned about a heated dome, and also there's a heating rack as well.
Yeah, we have a lot of products for manicures, pedicures, for public space. I think, Aaron, we're still trying to find out the efficacy and the real true benefits. Are there 84 minerals in every massage salt stone that's carved? I don't know, but they've usually shown that there's 50 or more. And what I do know about humans or even animals, they seem to respond and want to do things over and over that feel good or that their body really enjoys. And I know that from some of our larger chains around the United States and Canada, this is the most upgraded treatment. So not only are the therapists really liking it and liking it for their clients, but so are the guests.
That's fantastic. I mean, just looking at that last image on the video, there were quite a lot of products there. So where can people find out more about these products?
On saltability.com, we don't do a huge consumer business. We usually sell to other spas and chains of spas. And I've even had some chains want exclusivity. And I said, I'm not in the business to restrict the use of no water, very low energy, no electromagnetic field in the room, no chemicals. Why would I ever want to shortchange a client or a therapist in using this really holistic therapeutic treatment? So you can go to saltability.com and take a look at all of our products and see some of our video content. I do a lot of YouTube videos because it is a new concept, even though it's 6 years old now. And a lot of times new ideas are not that easy for everyone to absorb. So there's a lot of kind of easy 2-minute videos on ways to use the salt stone at home. Like I said, I'm a lymphedema practitioner. And one of the main ways when women get breast cancer is they look at the sentinel node, which is in the armpit, to see if the lymph has cancer in it. And I know I haven't used antiperspirant in 18 years since I first became an MLD practitioner, because by blocking that lymph, it can really congest the lymphatic system. So I even use a salt stone for my deodorant because it will neutralize bacteria.
Yeah, I've actually got a saltstone deodorant, and so you just put a little bit of water on it and then rub it under the arm and kills off the bacteria, and it's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, what I learned about the spa industry is it's about ritual, and I would much rather use a salt stone like you. A lot of times I'm dressed up and wearing a suit, and sometimes you'll see the perspiration. I have black on today, so you don't. So yeah, maybe I have to clean my clothes a little differently or whatever, because the perspiration is allowed to come through, but that should be allowed to come through. And we shouldn't be using chemicals and aluminum and things that can, throw off genetic precursors to cancers and things.
So you did also mention Himalayan sauce, and I think I have a video here for Himalayan sauce that we can also see if we can share. I'm not so quick on the whole techie bit here, but let's give this a go. Oh, I've lost the video now. And oh, I have lost the video.
Well, I'll give you the, if you find it, you tell me. So be quiet.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Wow, there's some more fantastic products there, aren't there? I mean, there's nothing more special than looking at oh, we've still got videos playing. Sorry
Oh,
about that. Yeah, as I was saying, there's something special about looking at a salt wall, isn't there? You know, it makes you feel relaxed. And then I see you've got some other products there, some lounges as well, and also not just the traditional salt brick wall, but also some panels too, which had look like crushed salt on there.
That's right. We wanted to, it is a little bit aesthetic. So architects, etc., they like what they like. And then, the full use of halo therapy is not just the salt wall, it's the idea of using a halo generator and dispersing micronized particles of pharmaceutical grade salt. But it's funny, Erin, if we were to just put in a halo generator into a room, people love looking at the salt. So they almost need this placebo effect of, wow, that's a salt wall. And now I'm breathing in the salt. It's kind of interesting that they need the 1-2 effect. So we can do granular salt, and we are working with a lot of architects now for new builds. There's a lot of capital money back out into the industry, which is great. And we're seeing that wellness is a huge term, maybe overutilized. But pulmonary, and I've been a recent recipient of COVID, and as you can probably hear from my voice, it really knocked my respiratory system down immediately. And I've never had a chest cold before in my adult life anyway. So for me to get knocked down in a few hours was very challenging. And I used halo therapy, like we talked about before we started the program, 3 and 4 times a day. And it really, really helped. And it's unfortunate that more and more people don't know the simplicity of being able to go to a salt cave or a salt room and get that immediate benefit, because they can suffer with phlegm and things that take over their lungs for weeks and months and not get that benefit just because of a lack of awareness. So kudos to you and WHA and what you're doing, because we are growing, but it's kind of, people don't know what they don't know. And I think all of us together in the halo therapy and the wellness that can provide kind of more information, education, and efficacy, we are trying to come up with some real life measures that show this therapy works. And that's not easy to do. We're not a pharmaceutical company. I don't have $9 gazillion. And so it is a little slower going, and natural takes longer. I could do a nebulizer and put in a steroid in my lungs and I would get immediate response. I can do halotherapy and it may take a little longer, but one is purely natural. One has no downside. There's a lot of benefits, but as I've said all my life, because I've been in this industry since college, natural does take longer. It's not a quick bullet to health. And I don't know about the UK, but I know here sometimes it's more easy to go see a doctor and find out what's wrong instead of looking at the preventative measures of halotherapy. But I can tell you from just having COVID, it truly knocked me down quick. And I think for that reason alone, we're going to see more and more halotherapy and pulmonary feel goods really come to the aid of helping people in a daily basis of wellness, which I don't think pulmonary's ever really been looked at as, okay, I'm going to work out my heart. I'm going to body brush my lymphatic system. There's no real way that we've thought about, maybe we've used some eucalyptus in the shower, but I think some of these easy ways to get into a halotherapy experience for 30 minutes a day, even, and memberships and easy ways to use them, or even to have a home system, is now becoming a viable means of daily wellness.
Absolutely. And I think you hit the nail on the head there about it is about education. It is about working together, getting the word out there. And that's what the World Halotherapy Association is all really about. And there are so many benefits, and being a natural therapy, you know, I don't see any negatives. And as you say, it really is a commitment to your health, but you have to do that with exercise and diet as well. So, you know, I don't think we're asking a lot, but you know, people are so used to seeing those quick fixes or just putting a band-aid on something rather than tackling things from the root cause. And hopefully, you know, people will start to see the testimonials that are out there and see that people really are getting the benefits from the halotherapy, and that's what we need to share. But it's been wonderful speaking with you, Anne. I appreciate your time. And you know, the products that you've shown us today are very beautiful, and I can see that a lot of people could definitely benefit from including them in their therapies or at their practices.
Well, thank you. And thank you for your devotion to growing, you know, ways that we can naturally improve things and having some efficacy to it and letting people understand really that it does work.
Brilliant. Thanks again, Anne.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.